Good evening. I am Armando Cuellar Jr., President of the Weslaco ISD Board of Trustees. This special board meeting is being conducted pursuant to Governor Greg Abbott's suspension of certain open meeting law requirements to the extent necessary to allow for telephonic and video conference meetings in response to COVID-19. Notice of this meeting has been posted online for at least 72 hours. The board is meeting by the use of Google Meets and telephone transmission, which allows two-way communication for members of the public during public comments. A recording of this meeting is being made and will be available to the public at a later date. The time now is 5:36, and I call this meeting to order. I will now begin roll call and signify your presence when I call your name. Mrs. Jackie Sustaita.
Aye. I'm present. I'm sorry.
Mr. Andrew Gonzalez. Dr. Jaime Rodriguez.
Here.
Jose Trevino.
Present.
Mr. Isidoro Nieto.
Present.
And Mr. Mark de los Santos.
Present.
Let the record show that a quorum of board members is in attendance. Item 3, public comments.
There are none.
No public comments, which takes us to item 4, discussion on remediation of WISD warehouse. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, good evening. And we do have a presentation on some of the damage we experienced due to the severe cold weather last week regarding our warehouse. It was the one that did have the most damage. So we do have Mr. Oscar Riojas and Mr. Americo Garza who will be presenting. Americo will be presenting the PowerPoint or the slides. So gentlemen.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Canales. Good evening, Coach Cuellar, Mr. Board President, and members of the board. Mr. Americo and I we put together a brief presentation on the warehouse. And so, Mr. Americo, if you can pop that up on the screen, that'd be great. Thank you, Mr. Americo. So, as Dr. Canales mentioned, we did discover a copper pipe that froze, and obviously, as we know, the ice will expand, and so bursted and leaked for an extended amount of time. And so, this presentation here is a brief update on the status of that damage, as well as some pictures for you to visually see some of the damage that we are addressing as we speak. So next page, America, please.
Give me a second. Let me get that. There it is. Can you see that?
Yeah. Can we go to page 2?
Yes. I believe my presentation got frozen. Let me just get that for you. Are you there? Can you see that?
Yeah. Let's go to page 2 now.
Okay, give me a second. I'm having trouble here. I may have to stop sharing and then redo it again.
Okay. Okay.
You see it now?
Yep. Okay. Can everybody see the slide, page 2? Okay. So this is the description of the events as they've unfolded. So on Tuesday, February the 16th, 2021, we discovered a water leak at the warehouse. It was discovered by Mr. Orlando Peña. Mr. Peña did call us immediately, and he took the bull by the horns, if you will, and he turned off the water meter himself, which was really cool of him to do that. And normally, when we have a situation like that, we do get a hold of Gerloff as one of the remediation companies out of San Antonio, and we did call them, but because of the freeze and the highways, some of the highways being closed, they were not able to respond to our water damage. So on Wednesday the 17th, our plumbing department went in there, inspected the site, assessed the plumbing damage, source of the water leak, and we, of course, discovered that it was a copper line on Friday. Again, no more water was seeping out on Friday. We repaired the line as we're getting ready to come back to school. And we wanted to make sure that we had water to the building, in which we did. We were able to do that successfully. So on Monday, the 22nd, we contacted AMEC for an assessment and scope of work, also to check for asbestos, and of course, indoor air quality control by testing for mold. Our records indicate that there is no asbestos in the building, but we just, we want to make sure, we want to confirm. And so that's just part of what AMEC is doing for us as we speak. We did have the insurance adjuster also walk the building on the 23rd. He did visit the site. We were there. We walked the entire first floor and the second floor, which is where the leakage started. Thursday, February the 25th, AMEC took some samples for asbestos testing, and also is continuing to assess the water leak and the damage. We expect the asbestos results to be turned into us by tomorrow. And of course, the scope of work for moisture remediation is expected for Monday. So the final steps is the procurement and implementation of the remediation and the construction services. And that's where we are right now with this project, as far as the remediation is concerned. So we are getting, like I mentioned, the asbestos results here within the next, or by tomorrow. And probably the most important part is the actual scope of work, which that's really going to give us a clear indication of how much damage we've sustained. And we'll go through the pictures in a little bit. And also will give us an opportunity to go out and seek the remediation cost and the repair cost, or the reconstruction cost, from contractors that are by board or some type of cooperative purchasing agent approved. Any questions so far? Okay, we'll go down and just kind of show you some of the. So you can see this is the far west end of the building. You can see the water puddling on the outside. You can see the water, how it has flowed through the the exterior of the building. You can see the water marks both on the north and on the west side of the building. Next to Mirko. So this is part of the inside of the building. So if you imagine the building, basically what happened was half of the building, 50% of the building, if you will, is what sustained the water damage, which is the top floor and the second floor. So this is the one of the front offices. This is the northwest exterior wall. You can see the water runoff there. You can see it on the windows, which means it was going right through the walls as it was flowing. Next to Mirko. Again, you can see the water puddling on the outside of the building. You can see the outside paneling where there's a lot of moisture coming through the walls of the building. And that's the actual water break right there. And a lot of history behind, I guess, if you will, on this building. If you notice, the rafters are completely open. There is no insulation. There is no really means of protecting these pipes. Basically, it was extremely cold up there, which led to the water break. I think this building has been this way for many years, and after many freezes that I know of, that I'm aware of, members of the board and Dr. Canales, this has never happened. But this time we did go through a couple of, as you know, 5 days of some extreme cold, and so you can see how the water now. This is the actual ceiling of the first floor, and you can see the damage that the water has done to the walls. The paint, it looks like a curtain. That's actually paint that has come off the wall, and it almost looks like a curtain, if you will. And this again, this is the office lounge to the warehouse. So the main areas that this water damage affected are one office, which is the textbook clerk office, and the lounge, which were heavily used, on a daily basis by our staff. We have made arrangements for the gentleman that's in the textbook clerk to be working out of another part of the building. And of course, the lounge that one is closed for now, until we proceed with the remediation and the repairs. Next slide, America. Do we have another one?
That is the last one, Coach.
Okay, and that is the complete presentation and update on the warehouse and the water line leak that we had. Any questions?
Oscar,
Yes, sir.
was this the main building that sustained the most significant damage?
Yes, sir, Coach. Yes, sir, Coach. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, sir. Like I said, I think I mentioned this the last meeting. We were very, very thankful and very blessed that this was the extent of the damage to our school district. But yes, sir, this was the most damage that we sustained. Mhm.
Coach, what's our deductible on this?
Dr. Rodriguez, I believe our deductible, and I think Mike is online, but I think our deductible is 100,000, sir.
Shared.
Any other resources that were damaged, like they mentioned, textbook room, any textbooks or any other resources that were damaged because of the
Mhm.
leakage?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Neto. I did. We've been visiting with Mr. Orlando Peña on a daily basis, and I did talk to him today specifically about that, sir. And he shared with me that majority of the damages to the building, aside from the actual building, have been desks, some office furniture, one monitor. I think that was the extent of it, sir. So that I know of, or that he reported to us, no textbooks, nothing like that, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on, Dr. Canales.
That was it.
That takes us to item 5.
That takes us to item 5, sir.
Closed meeting to discuss A, personnel matters, Texas Government Code 551.074. 1, employment of personnel. 2, resignations. 3, deliberation regarding the appointment, employment, evaluation, resignation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. Texas Government Code 551.074 and 551.071. 4, deliberations addressing administrative / personnel and issues concerning superintendent. B, deliberation regarding acquisition of real property. Texas Government Code 551.072. And C, consultation with attorney regarding A, pending or contemplated litigation. B, settlement offer. Or C, a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the Weslaco ISD under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Texas Government Code 551.071. Let the record reflect that Mr. Gonzalez joined the meeting at 5:49. And we will now go into closed session, and the time is 5:50. The time now is 7:50, and we reconvene from the open meeting, or the closed meeting that we just had. Item 6, to reconvene in open meetings for possible action if necessary, the item discussed in closed meeting. Dr. Canales?
Board trustees, I don't know if we have an action item. There's not an action item.
Non-action? Item 7, adjournment.
Someone.
The time now is 7:51. This meeting is adjourned.